Welcome everyone! In this video, we are in the Ultra League, showcasing another very powerful team featuring Gyarados. Gyarados, one of the better answers to all of the Charizards that are running rampant in the Ultra League. The overusage of Charizard is quite prevalent, so we've got Gyarados in the back, along with Tapu Fini, another amazing answer to Charizard in this meta. Tapu Fini basically hard walls Charizard. Of course, it does do neutral fast move pressure, but Tapu Fini, one of the hardest checks to Charizard in the Open Ultra League. Very strong legendary Pokemon. This one's a raid, but you can run a raid or a trade if you have one. And also on this team, we've got Trevenant. This is the XL Trevenant, but you can absolutely use a non-XL. Trevenant is on the lead on this team to protect our back two Pokemon from primarily Registeel and all other Steel types in the Ultra League. Gyarados, I think, is thoroughly underutilized in this meta, but here we go. Picking up a positive lead, coming in the form of a Tapu Fini. They make a play into an Obstagoon, and we meet this with our own Tapu Fini. Either one works, it's just a little bit more dominant for Tapu Fini. Of course, we can hit this for super effective damage with our Moonblast. And Tapu Fini has a little bit more bulk than Gyarados, able to withstand the resisted damage a little bit better. And if Obstagoon is running the conventional moveset, it also hard walls Obstagoon. Not only does it hard wall Charizard, it also hard walls Obstagoon as well. And you can just go straight Surf in this matchup. You still get outpaced, but it's not nearly as bad as if you build all the way up to that Moonblast, and they do let that go, cutting the losses. And Tapu Fini has flipped switch for us, and they come in with a Trevenant, so very interesting. They're not messing around, they're throwing immediately as we are in Seed Bomb range, so this will KO us. So we could have come in with our own Trevenant, but we elect to come in with Gyarados because Gyarados has a very bad matchup against the Tapu Fini that is still remaining in the back, as it does double resist our fast move pressure. Tapu Fini hard walls our Gyarados like you wouldn't believe. So we do tank a Seed Bomb there. And we're going to fire back with a Crunch. This would do massive super effective damage, and we grab a Shield. And they realize it was not trending in the right direction for them, as they do promptly top left. Good game, well played to them. Gyarados on this classic ABB style team for the Ultra League was really putting in the work, and here we go. Swampert, that's a beautiful lead for our Trevenant, but they make a play into their own Trevenant. We're staying right here because we have three very solid checks to that Swampert. And if you are met with a grass type, you're absolutely staying in, and they do shield our Shadow Ball, going down a shield. A lot of Trevenant trainers like to bait, so we decided to call a bait, but it did not pay off as they are not messing around. They go right for that Shadow Ball. Good on them. We'll take the shield advantage and come in with our Gyarados here. And we're going to let this go as well, expecting a bait. But again, they're not baiting. They're not messing around. Holy smokes. Hats off to them for just going right for the move. They're likely trying to just grab that shield back or do massive damage. Going to take out the Trev with an Aqua Tail. And they are thinking long and hard. There it is. They've got a Charizard in the back, and we are healthy enough to make it to one last move, coming in the form of an Aqua Tail, likely going to grab the shield, and it does. That is beautiful. We now have a 2-shield advantage, and we know what is remaining on their team. This Charizard can do nothing here, guys. We're going to let this go. It does quite a bit of resisted damage, but that is okay. We're going to preserve these shields, and they catch onto a Swampert. That's fine. Not a problem. We had to throw Surf on this thing anyways. And so now the play here is to leave this matchup with a Surf loaded here. Gonna have to shield everything up because even resisted Hydro Cannons from a Swampert will begin to add up. So gonna shield everything from the Swampert here and just get to back-to-back Surfs here. And, yeah, they're going to just go straight Hydro Cannon. That's the play for them, but it's not going to work out because we get to these back-to-back Surfs here. Going for Surf number 1, and we are saying bye-bye to the Swampert, and we've got Surf number 2 locked and loaded for this Charizard that has no shields. We're saying bye-bye to the Charizard as well, and Tapu Fini sweeping the end game, coming in super clutch. That's going to be a good game, well played. About Tapu Fini putting in the work in that last one. I'm telling you, this all the moving parts of this team work together beautifully. And here we go, picking up a positive lead coming in the form of Virizion. And we are making a note that they are staying in on this nightmare lead. That means that they are core broken by Trevenant. So we will shield the potential Stone Edge, but they go Leaf Blade. Holy smokes. So they're not running Stone Edge. Not likely that this is either a pre-Sacred Sword of Virizion or they are just rolling with Leaf Blade in the place of Stone Edge. So I'm reading that it is the latter, and we're going to let all this go. We wanted to preserve health on Trevenant because if they stay in on a lead loss like this, guys, they're ABA weak. So you'll want to always try your very best to preserve health if that is the case, because Trevenant's going to have to put in work later on. And they've got a Guzzlord in the back, so very interesting team thus far. We are, of course, doing super effective damage with our Dragon Breaths, but it hard walls our charge moves. So we're going to let this go. We have another amazing answer to that in the back, and they've got a Gyarados of their own in the Shadow form running Waterfall. Very, very interesting team here from our opponent. Going to go for the Crunch and grab a shield from the opposing Gyarados, and we had loaded energy from our farm off of that Guzzlord, going for Crunch number 2 and doing big damage to the Shadow Gyarados, and they're going to go for that farm down. So knowing the team now, we're just going to throw Trevenant in here to soak the damage. We do lose CMP tie. In case you were wondering, I'm expecting a Crunch here. That's fine. Tapu Fini's going to absolutely dominate this endgame. The remainder of this team can do nothing to Tapu Fini, and they realize that as they promptly top left. There was nothing that Guzzlord could do. Good game, well played to our opponent. My goodness, I know Gyarados is on the thumbnail, but holy smokes is Tapu Fini putting in the work. And here we go. Decent lead coming in the form of Venusaur. Of course, it can fight back with some hard-hitting neutral sludge bombs with Stab. And of course, we all know Trevenant, not known for its bulk. We're just going to play to the CMP tie here. They are 1 over their sludge bomb. And they do shield our Shadow Ball, as that would do big damage to the Venusaur. We're going to let the Sludge Bomb go, just in case it's a Frenzy bait. Generally, if they go over like that, they're going to bait, but they went right for it there. And now we are forced to shield a resisted Frenzy Plant, as that is an absolutely busted move, would do a lot of resisted damage to Trevenant. And again, same scenario as last time. This is not a good lead for them to be staying in on. That generally means that they are core broken by your lead Pokemon. So we're going to preserve the health, go for that Shadow Ball, taking out the Venusaur, and there it is. Target acquired. They've got a Charizard in the back, along with a Registeel. So we aggressive swapped into our Gyarados, and we draw out, Regirock, my goodness. And because they waited so long to swap out, we are absolutely way ahead on energy here. Gonna let the Stone Edge go. We will want to save a shield. We do live that. Holy smokes, this highly ranked Gyarados, these PvP IVs coming in super clutch, going for Aqua Tail number 2. Regirock is about as bulky as it gets, so it does tank 2 of those, no problem. But we have a move stored on our Trevenant, so the play here is to wait down the switch clock, and we will win CMP tie, so we will go for this super effective Seed Bomb with Stab from our Trevenant, which will allow us to say bye-bye to the Regirock, and because we waited switch clock, we don't have to allow that Charizard to get ahead, and it is 99 Sleep type. That Charizard could do nothing. Super satisfying. Good game, well played to them. I'm telling you guys, a lot of these trainers in the Ultra League, they are tucking the Charizards in the back, and if you run this team, it has nowhere to go. And here we go. Cresselia, that's a positive lead, and they are core broken by Trevenant. Yet another Ultra League team, core broken by Trevenant. You absolutely love to see it. So we're going to stay in here. This is why we have Trevenant on the team for Registeel. So if they present it to you, you are very much obligated to stay in and take out that Registeel so that your back 2 Pokemon have a chance of surviving here. And we should have thrown that Shadow Ball a lot sooner. Ideally, you want to get that first one off before the potential debuff from the resisted Zap Cannon. And we're going to fire off the next one, not messing around with this Registeel here, and grabbing a shield from one of the tankiest Pokemon in the Ultra League. Holy smokes. Gotta shield this one up. We gotta get rid of this thing. It is too tanky, and that steel typing is just too much for our back two Pokemon to bear. Going for Shadow Ball number 2, and because we are debuffed, it's not gonna KO, but we're gonna snipe it right off the field with our Tapu Fini, denying them all of that energy that they were farming, and we draw back out the Cresselia. So we left that matchup relatively healthy. That's what we wanted. And we wanted to draw this Cresselia back out because most Cresselias are running the Legacy Grass Knot. And although it only hits Gyarados for neutral, Gyarados is not known for its bulk. So we just elect to bring in Tapu Fini, basically sacrificing it to draw back out that Cresselia. But the Registeel is gone, so we are that much further ahead here. And we are just going for these Surfs here. They both hit for neutral damage. Surf is the more energy efficient move. And Tapu Fini putting in the work on the tankiest Pokemon in the meta. You love to see it. Now we can, should have come in with Trevenant, but that Cresselia was very, very smart in its energy management, so we didn't want Trevenant to have to get one shot or go down a shield. So we do elect to come in, get ahead on energy with our Gyarados here. I'm reading that there's either a Charizard, which we see here, or a possible double steel line, maybe with a Cobalion. That's what I was reading at the time, but holy smokes. This Charizard can do nothing here, guys. It's getting a little close, gonna admit it is. But if they shield this, we're gonna do just fine. If they shield this, it's Trevenant time. Yep, they shield, it's Trevenant time. We will get to the Shadow Ball. They will make it to a Dragon Claw, but that's why we preserve the shield. And they are absolutely within Shadow Ball range. We are just a couple of Shadow Claws off from the Shadow Ball. And it's not every day you get to see a Trevenant take out a Charizard. We're saying bye-bye to the Charizard, courtesy of our Grass-type Trevenant. You love to see it. Good game, well played to them. Oh, now is the time to absolutely capitalize on the overusage of Charizard in the Ultra League, and here we go. So this team right here, the Walrein lead, is going to be the toughest team to handle for this one because they generally have a Swampert and a Trevenant in the back, or a Swampert and a Charizard, or a Trevenant and a Charizard. That's generally what they have, and I fell on my face so many times tackling the best way to handle this team, and as the sets began to wind down for the morning, I realized that you just have to stay in and soft lose lead, because your back two Pokemon are going to do just fine if you can preserve that shield advantage, and we did. So we aggressive swap into Tapu Fini, going to shield up the EQ, reading that there is a potential Charizard in the back, perhaps even a Swampert as well. There's the Swampert right there. So far our team read is very much accurate. Gonna fire off this Moonblast. Not likely they shield this, as shields are now even, doing big damage on the Swampert. That is beautiful. We'll take that all day, and we're not shielding anything from the Swampert. We do survive a Earthquake from this range, and if they want to overfarm, we will get to this Surf, but they recognize that and they go for the Hydro Cannon. So the Swampert is now energy dry. That's going to KO, or just about. Holy smokes, you saw, I thought it KO'd. That's why we didn't keep tapping there. So we can just come in and get ahead on energy with our Gyarados. And holy smokes, they come in with the low health Walrein. I think you guys know what that means. We're catching this Icicle Spear onto our Trevenant, preserving health on our Gyarados, and I am 100% reading there's a Charizard in the back. There it is. You love to see it. Holy smokes, and we've got two Aqua Tails locked and loaded for this Charizard that was hiding in the back the whole time. They do let that go. That's fine. It's over. There's nothing this thing can do. And we're going to add insult to injury and call the move here. I'm fully confident that they are going to try and bait us. They do not fall for that at all. And going to just fire off the next Aqua Tail. We could have just Dragon Breath down. And they do wave the white flag and let that go. I think they were a little bit demoralized that we called that bait. Holy smokes. Gyarados sweeping the end game. That's going to be a good game. Well played. Oh man, I'm telling you guys, if you run this team, you see that Charizard come in from the back, you can grin ear to ear. And here we go, another one of these Walrein teams. So again, like I said, as the sets began to wind down, I realized the best way to tackle this lead is to stay in and soft lose lead. And if you will grab a shield from Trevenant, they have to shield the second Seed Bomb if they hope to win lead. And you do comfortably tank a Icicle Spear from a non-Shadow. And we will look to play to the CMP tie here on their second Icicle Spear and fire off the Seed Bomb and grab the shield. That's the best way to play this. You just lose lead with Trev, and there is a very good chance that there is a Charizard generally lurking in the back, perhaps even a Swampert. So we do play it out that way. That is the best way to play the Walrein lead, guys. So if you run this team, please do make note of that. And we will shield up the Icicle Spear on our Gyarados, but they've got a Tapu Fini, and it took me a minute to process what I was seeing here. I was briefly in awe that they would make themselves ABA weak to an Ampharos. So we do let them get a slight energy lead, and we do shield up the Moonblast. Gonna fire off a Moonblast of our own. They can definitely tank this. It's not fun for them as it does get them in the red, and we get the attack drop. You love to see it. And they're gonna go for their move here, and because that attack dropped, this Moonblast will not hurt as much. But they go Surf. I was certain they were out of Moonblast. They were 100% there. So what I suspect is that they wanted to leave us healthy so that this Trevenant up a shield could get a nice healthy farm. So we're going to fire off this Moonblast, and they let it go, likely expecting a bait. We saw that. We knew that we had loaded energy on our Gyarados, so we're going to bait with this Aqua Tail here, grab that shield, and we do live any one move from this health range. They should definitely go for the Shadow Ball. We would barely survive, but they go Seed Bomb here. They're one off from another Seed Bomb. I don't think it mattered either way, guys. We get to this. We are saying bye-bye, courtesy of a resisted Aqua Tail, and we will farm down that Walrein there, guys. So that is the way you play the Walrein lead. Good game, well played to them. This ABB Water team in the Ultra League was absolutely dominating. And here we go. Nightmare lead. Shadow Snorlax here, going to make a play into Gyarados on the safe swap. And they meet us with an Ampharos. Holy smokes. That is the worst counter swap to possibly see with a Gyarados. Holy smokes. So we're just going to go for this crunch. No, we do get the defense drop, so that is good. We don't last very long, so we do have to wait out our switch timer. My goodness. That was a brutal lead and an even more brutal safe swap or counter swap here. So we're going to let the first brutal swing go. This thing is absolutely loaded here, guys. My goodness, that brutal swing does a lot of super effective damage, and they are already at another one. So we're going to have to start shielding from here on out. Yeah, this is really rough here. We should throw the Seed Bomb here, but we just tried to get slightly more ahead on energy. That's a misplay. Should have definitely thrown that. At the very least, we would have grabbed the shield, but now they get to preserve the Ampharos. That was definitely not the way to go about doing that. We should have definitely thrown the Seed Bomb. So they aggro swap back into the Snorlax, and we have no shield. Snorlax does quite well up against Tapu Fini, especially if it has a shield advantage here, because these body slams in its shadow form with stab really do add up on Tapu Fini. Gonna go for the Hail Mary Moonblast here. I don't know what else they could have in the back, but it is not looking good. This team is absolutely running right through ours. Holy smokes, we could not get that farm down. And yeah, this is not gonna happen, my friends. Holy smokes. You got pretty RPS than this one. But we do stick it out because I'm curious to see what they have in the back. And we overfarm yet again on this Ampharos. So yeah, if they don't shield, we'll get to see. But no, they don't want to let us see what they had tucked in the back. They do take us out with a Volt Switch. So that is the team, my friends. Had a lot of fun with it. Like I said, I wanted to address the overusage of Charizard in the meta. And there's no better way to do that than with two very strong grass types on a very strong ABB style team. And if you run these two Pokemon, being Gyarados and Tapu Fini, you'll absolutely want to have a very, very good Registeel answer. And there are few better Registeel answers in this meta than a Trevenant. But guys, I had a blast. I hope you all enjoyed. As always, I thank you for watching and keep up the grind. Thank you, guys.